will be pushing start times back. All rings will be delayed.
There's a couple things we have to do. I don't remember all of it. That's like the third loose horse of the show. I don't know what's in the air.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Happy Wednesday. We have an itch. Really bad itch. Come on, Trevor. It is the afternoon and we are at the show. Just doing a last hand walk for Trevi. He was great for our lesson today to prep for tomorrow's meter 35 Alliant Cup.
Yeah. Keep the leg. Now get him really into this corner. Make a circle. Come off the inside leg. Yup. Shorten the reins. The reins are way too long. Sitting.
We don't want to work that hard.
Yeah. Hold. Now gallop away. Now collect, reel it in, make a circle.
Only way to check.
Whoa. And leg. Good. Nice. Up and then.
We still have a bunch to do this afternoon. Max still needs to ride Lopi. Claire is coming down tomorrow morning. We have to do up stalls again tonight, put up fans. It was pretty chilly yesterday and it's cold in the mornings, but the afternoons are now getting back into kind of the low 80s. So we want to get some fans up on the horses. We need to feed grain. There's a couple things we have to do. I don't remember all of it, but so we have a little bit of a longer afternoon ahead of us, but that's fine. Nowhere else to be. Trevor was great yesterday. We just did a light flat in the ring. Today we are at the show. There's Trevor. I just finished hacking and now I'm gonna head back to the barn and finish setting up. Trevor was super today. It's a beautiful day, which is great. Normally Tuesdays, for whatever reason, it's always either like super hot or very rainy. But yeah, ready for a great week. And we got everything set up, and when I get back to the barn and have a moment, I will do a tour of our setup for this time. We're tired. We don't understand why we have to go on hand walks. We don't like it. Poor Trevor. Okay, let's do a quick tour of our setup at the show. Starting with the outside of our tent, we are at tent 3 at Lamplight this week. We have our curtains and just a little setup, and keep our shavings and a wheelbarrow on the other side. Out in the aisle, we have our bit box. I had that chair out because I was cleaning my boots. And a little box, this is a grooming box, but I keep apples and carrots in it. Some of our coolers for the week. We have our board and our tack cleaning station. I still need to clean Max's saddle. He has Lopi out on a up to bathe right now. And then in our grooming stall, we have mats down with our cross ties, a saddle rack, temperature cards, drying rack here and here for saddle pads and towels, muck tub. Then we have our wood grooming box with assorted grooming materials, bag for our boots. We have a hook up there for halters and then a hook up here for bridles. We put bridles away in the bins at night. Grooming box for the ring. Bottom stuff is wash stuff, missing our bucket that Max has. And then we have our care stuff. So we have our poultice and hoof packing liniment and all that. And then a couple sprays, alcohol. This is a conditioner, fly spray, towels, etc. In our grooming stall, we first have 2 very good dogs. A cooler that we have some food in. I think right now we just have like meat sticks and a sandwich and whatnot. This husky and this husky have assorted supplies and refills and whatnot in them. Like one has like our toolkit and whatnot. Fan for the dogs if we need it. Laundry bag for dirty laundry. The beamer is there for now. Saddle rack. And then we have Samson's bag. The rest of our chairs, we put them away in the afternoons. And then we have our shelves. So each horse has their own bin. So that one's Trevi's. That's where all his tack is. And then we have a couple open shelves for like backpacks and whatnot. Emergency supplies if we need it, like tags we can put in their mains, assorted snacks, hand sanitizer in case the bathrooms run out of hand sanitizer, and yeah. This is Trevi's bin. So we have half pad, saddle pad, numbers are on for tomorrow already. His assorted bridles and girths. We have our jumping boots over here, and then this bag has his bonnets and whatnot in it, and his bell boots. He doesn't wear those at shows though. So that's basically what's in everybody's bins, is their version of what tack they need for the show of boots and bridles and girths and pads and whatnot. So that's what we have in the bins. And then in this other stall is where we keep our feed and whatnot. So this is our hay supply for the show. We're still waiting on a couple bales, a few bags of shavings that we've pulled in for this afternoon. Our freezer with ice boots and a few popsicles. And then everybody's grain stuff. So we have Trevor's and Lopi's, and that's Pony's, and then that's Harry's. Kind of assorted feed items. I have this in because that's what I brought the fans in from the trailer. And then we have our med kit, and we use pine sol and water to water down the aisle so it's not as dusty when we rake. And it's a little open on this side because one of the things we still have to do this afternoon is take this wall and move it so that Lopi can get his stall in a half. It's not really a half because the door is in the way, but it's just enough for him to be able to stand normal. Hi, Trevor. And then on the stalls, I use Harry's. Everybody has their card, salt block, 2 water buckets, a horse, their halters, except we hang it like this. There we go. And then they have their stall bags. So what we keep in their stall bags are their sheets if they need it, and then whatever wrap situation they have. So Harry uses quick wraps, but they might have standings. Trevor has his bib. So those are the horse stalls. And then the fans we still need to put up. So his will go there, Twix's will go there, and then Trevor and Lopi's will go somewhere up there. This is our board. So this is our game plan for tomorrow. A few things we still have to do tonight. But our game plan for tomorrow is Trevi's in the Alliant Cup at 12:30. Claire has a couple classes. I still need to figure out what Faith is doing with custom. But Pony is schooling. Harry is just having a day to hang out. But if there's any extra rides that need to happen, so I'm going to hack Trevi in the morning. Hand walks, if anybody needs to lunge, which doesn't look like anybody needs to. No braiding for tomorrow, and then any sort of others. So Trevor gets a few supplements before he shows. And yeah, so on our list for tonight still. Right? You're a good boy. You look like a sprinkles guy.
Oh God, I hate you.
All right, I am walking back to the barn. Just finished up with our Alliant Cup class. It was 1.35 this week. Overall, super, super happy with it. Usually our first trip of the week is like a little bit inconsistent. It usually looks good, but it doesn't feel great. But I thought today was just very, very smooth. He just had a couple of a little dull rails. He knows that he can just kind of tick them, especially if I don't get to a jump and kind of challenge him at it and make him really care. Like if I just get there really soft and light and equitation-y at a nice distance, he's like, okay. He's spooking at this log. But I'm overall very happy with it. It was a very nice confidence, good round. So we have the Prix on Saturday, hoping to have a little bit more juice in the tank for him and me. I'm tired. So that we can produce even just a single clear round would be great. Always chasing those clears, but super happy. He's a very good boy. All right, so let's review the 1.35 Alliant Cup course from Thursday. It started off with just a very nice, simple vertical with a bending 7 to the butterfly oxer. I thought that rode just nice center to center. Came around the corner here, a bit of a short turn relative for the size of the ring, and just a little dull to it. There's nothing very impressive about that vertical. I was a smidge underneath it, and so we just kind of rolled that. Came through the center of the ring here, and he felt a little distracted by all the jumps in the middle. And then I was a little bit long to that oxer, and I don't think he realized there was an out of a combination until we were in the air, so he just kind of cut down behind. So unfortunately, 2 early rails, but then he really kicked in. So this 5 rode super nice up the outside. Loved how he jumped that one. Chose to do an inside turn here. That was our original plan anyway, to save on time allowed. And then I feel like if I can do a bit of a shorter turn somewhere in the course, it keeps him really engaged. I was really happy with this bending 7 coming home because we stayed on the counter lead and he was super balanced. We've been doing a lot of practice with our counter canter, and I think it's really paid off. This was a nice bending 8, and then we just finished on a simple vertical, kind of going away from the wall there. I was a little nervous walking into the class because the person before me did completely different numbers, and I was worried that we didn't walk correctly, but everything rode exactly as it walked, and overall, pretty happy with it. Good morning, happy Saturday. It is 5:36 in the morning and we are headed to the show. First alarm went off at 4:30 today, so early morning. But we are on our way. I had to run back inside and get my raincoat because it looks like it rained a little bit at some point last night. And there's like a 15% chance throughout the day, so hopefully it doesn't rain, but got my raincoat, so now it won't. Pre is at 8 a.m. this morning. I go 9th out of 10 in the posted order, and I'm gonna get there and tack Trevi a little bit to get him loosened up this morning so that I don't have to do as much in my actual warm-up for the class. Max is gonna get chores done, and then I think our next person shows at like 10:45, right? So I'm gonna kind of have a little bit of a quiet morning after the pre. I'm looking forward to it. Good morning, Trevor. How was your night? What's going on, buddy? Says, get that phone out of my face. We've got Lopi, Custom, little baby Twix on his braided. Oh, look how nice he looks. Oh, Lope's braided too already. Jumper braids. And then we've got a very sleepy hairball. Oh my god, look at his teeth. Oh. That's really funny. Look at his teeth, Max.
I know.
It's hard being a baby horse at a horse show. Very exhausting. Alright, I'm taking the dogs for an early morning walkies. Well, Trevi eats his breakfast, but look how eerie that vending machine is. That's so funny. If it was like 10 degrees cooler, it'd really feel like spooky season, but it still feels a little bit like summer. We actually have some like heat lightning going on over there. It is 6:30. I am walking Trev up to the Grand Prix schooling ring. Jumper 2 is closer to our tent, but the walk is nice for him in the morning, just getting out of his stall. So we're headed up the lovely tree path. Just going to let him stretch his legs, kind of get him active through his back. He's a very cold horse, and so I don't try to do too much with him throughout the week, but especially in the morning of the pre, so we have some energy for later. But he's a little bit of an unconventional horse, so if I can kind of get him working and engaged earlier in the day. Oh, there's a bunny. Are we gonna spook at the bunny? We didn't spook at the bunny. Good job. Oh my god, that was really cute. And it's funny, he won't spook at a bunny in the woods, but he'll spook at like a trash can that's lying on its side. Not one that's like fallen over in front of him. He's just like, that's not right, it's on its side. Yeah, so the more I can get him engaged earlier in the day, the less work I have to do later, the less tired he is walking like into the class. All right, just finished up That was pretty good. I ended up having to ride in a jumper too, schooling, because the schooling for the Grand Prix was still closed. So I ended up coming over here, and he was great. I did like 5 minutes of trot and like 4 minutes of canter or something like that. So not very much, but he was super good. Feels awesome. So I'm gonna walk him for another second so he can chill out, and then we'll head back to the barn. I'm going to clean him up, put him away, maybe help Max finish up chores, and then kind of see where we're at timing wise with getting ready. We're gonna walk for a minute longer. A horse looks like it got out of its stall. It still had its wraps on. It didn't have any like halter or bridle on it. So was up here and just run around. They didn't catch him. He ran back to the barns. So hopefully catch that horse. So we're gonna walk for a minute longer because now we're all revved up. That's like the third loose horse of the show. I don't know what's in the air, but that's at least 3 for that I've like personally seen. I'm glad I rode when I did, because there's something rolling in. Radar looks like 7:45 maybe. It's gonna get thunderstorm. Just a small pocket. It's a severe weather is more north of us. We're just on the tail side of it. So hoping that comes through quickly and is over and is done for the rest of the show day. And I wonder if they might even push back the rings to start at 8:30 instead of 8, but we'll see.
Good morning on the ground, back in the barn. Good morning. We will be, with this front coming in, we will be pushing start times back. All rings will be delayed. We will start all rings. All rings will start at 9 a.m. If you guys are out there on horses, if you have people out there on horses, I suggest they go back to the barn. There is lightning in the area. The storm is not going to miss us. So for everybody's safety, no horses should be out in the lightning. All rings will be a delayed start. We will start all rings at 9 a.m.
The sides of the tents rolled down. Just helps if there's any sideways rain so it doesn't come in. Chevy. So they ended up rescheduling our class to happen more towards the end of the schedule because it rained so much that the footing was a little sloppy for this height, which in the moment I was like, I'm prepared to be able to do an 8 a.m. class. I like getting out of the way of my day, but with the footing, it ended up being the right call. Really super happy with this course. He was jumping amazing. The only thing I didn't like was coming to this next fence. He was a little distracted by the in gate, and I just made a little too late of getting him focused and move up to that fence. So just rolled that top rail, which was really disappointing because he just jumped like a freak over the rest of it. What we did to prepare, I think, really helped him kind of click in and engage. So super happy with how the course went. That was a nice 7 up the outside. He was really keyed in for that combination. This was off the eye down to jump number 6, and I was really happy I did not pull down to it, which was great. Kind of a shorter rollback turn here to this oxer with a 5 stride to the vertical combination there. Really delicate technical question, and he stayed super straight to it. Liked this 6 stride across the middle. It was oxer. Stayed really focused with all those jumps right on top of each other, and then jumping kind of into the wall. Then he got something messed up with his bonnet or his ear or something because he was shaking his head. You could see his left ear. He kind of had it poking out to the side, but I was proud that he still stayed focused on the job to that combination. And then I pulled down to this one. There wasn't really a number there, and I was worried with his ear he wasn't going to pay attention to the move ups. Overall, I was really super happy with the course. I think that was a great way for us to end our season. We ended up 8th because there was randomly only like 9 or 10 in that class. So happy we could end on a ribbon, even if it wasn't a clear round. I'm not sure when we are going to be showing next. We have nothing really scheduled. So we will see what we end up deciding to want to do. I want to try to get out to a few more shows next year. We only went to 6 shows this year. I only did, I think, like 4 or 5 classes at that meter 45 height. And I just need to get more experience so that when things come up, like the approach to that jump that we had down in the pre, I have a little bit more muscle memory on how to handle it so it's smoother, and then we hopefully keep that that fence up. However, horse showing is expensive, so we'll see what we end up being able to come up with. One thing I was really happy about with both of my classes at this show was my position over the fences. Every once in a while, I'll get tired or he'll jump so insane that I'll kind of fall on his neck after the fence. But I felt like my position over pretty much every fence that we had was really strong and really effective. So that was a good kind of end of season win to get used to his jump over some of the bigger fences that we do. My goal for next year, for next season, is to be able to get pretty consistently some clear rounds at that meter 45 height. I know we can do it because we got a double clear in May when we got second place in that pre. So I know that it's in there. I just want it to be consistent. Sometimes it's a little disheartening as an amateur with, just the one horse to compete against professionals who they show the number of meter 45 classes in a day that I do in a year. So sometimes it's a little disheartening walking into one of those classes with such a big entry fee, being like, wow, what's my chance of winning? But that's not what we're here for. We are here to produce good, solid, clear rounds, and the ribbons will come. So that is my goal. Nice, solid, clear rounds next year with ribbons that come with it because we are riding competitively. And I say just the one horse like that because I recognize that even just having a horse at all is such an incredible blessing. And then to be able to have one that I can show as much as I do, and then to have one of this kind of insane quality that I can do the classes that I do. So I say that with recognition that I am comparing myself against my direct peers and not necessarily the grand scheme of things, because in the grand scheme of things, it's absolutely just insane that I am able to do any of this. So I do recognize that. And in the same breath, I know that I choose to do these classes where I am competing against people I know that have different advantages over myself than I have, with the more horses and the more showing and whatnot. But I choose to do these classes because I know that they are a good, strong challenge for me. I am competing against myself, first and foremost, against my own personal best. And I'm sure that I have advantages that the other people in my classes don't have. So it is a give and take, and you are always striving to do what you can do the best, regardless of what other people have around you. And so all that being said, I'm very proud of where I've been able to get so far. And I know that I'll just need to keep getting experience and keep working at it to get to that win. Good morning. Happy Sunday. We are out on our morning walk before the show gets started. We have just 2 clients showing today, kind of around midday-ish, like 11 to 1 o'clock range probably. So we will get packed up with a lot of stuff this morning, horse show, and then finish packing and get back on the road to go home after that. So I don't think we'll be home too late tonight, which will be nice. It's also nice it's only a 2-hour drive to get the horses back. But yeah, so it should be a good day. It's a lovely morning, and we'll round out a really good week.
bright, the dreams are on your side. When the stars are lit, they try to catch your eye. Is it destiny or just beginner's luck that I found you? Now the moonlight dances gently over you. I have never found the peace inside my mind. I got nothing here that keeps me in line. In a messed up world, it's hard to see the good in everyone. In a broken conversation, silence won. It's too late now, I got to be on my way for sure. Lesson learned, you make it hard to walk out of the door. Note to self, you don't need to be anywhere but here. And I finally find some peace in me. I gotta let you go for now. Isn't it true, the truth will finally come out? When you feel empty and afraid, I am on my way. It's too late now, I got to be on my way for sure. Lesson learned, you make it hard to walk out of the door. Note to